welcome to Built to Win podcast, a show about entrepreneurs, their processes, their stories, and how they turn their dreams into reality. Today, we've got Jason in the zone, Fisher.
Yeah, that's
So
right. That's
that-
a gift and a curse. I'm always in the zone.
I love it. So we want to jump right in. Jason is very kind of integral in what they're doing at Slick Studios here. So we want to see what's going on, see where everything started, and I will let him take it from here.
Oh, wow. Take it from here. Well, I'm used to being a host. I am a television host and a podcast host, so I feel very comfortable taking the reins. Welcome to Built to Win. I'm Jason Zone Fisher. Now I'm hosting this show. Let's go. That's what I do. I told you, it's a gift and a curse. I'm always on. But yeah, I'm a TV host, a podcast host, a content creator, a storyteller, and I feel very fortunate that I've been able to channel my passion for storytelling, for sports, for basketball into a career. I always bring a lot of energy to what I do, and enthusiasm, and I feel very lucky to do what I do. That for me, a camera and a microphone are my tickets to unlock all these doors to meet amazing people and go to incredible places. And I've been very fortunate to have a really fun, exciting career doing things, getting paid to do things that honestly I would pay to do. So I feel very lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
Awesome. So, Jason, I've obviously seen you throughout the years. Slick, seen you on TV. I know that you do a lot with the NBA. I know you're a Midwest guy just like me.
That's right.
Tell the audience, where did it all start?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and I knew I loved to perform. I knew at a young age that it came pretty naturally to me, and I also recognized that it doesn't for most other people. I remember being in like first or second grade, and the teacher assigning like an oral project where you have to get up and talk about a book you read over the summer or something. And I watched everyone in the class freaking out while I'm like, this is amazing. I can just get up there and wing it. And I realized that most people can't do this. So I knew I wanted to perform. I was a child actor. I was in TV, movies, commercials, plays, started acting professionally really in the third or fourth grade. And I thought that was the path I wanted to go down. But then when I was in high school in Cleveland, they had an open casting call for a new Saturday morning kids show about the Cleveland Browns called Browns Blitz. And thousands of kids auditioned, and I got picked as one of the main hosts of this show, where I got to be on the field for all the Browns games, hanging in the locker room after the games with the players on their off day, doing fun segments. It was kind of like NBA inside stuff for kids for the Cleveland Browns, and I'm doing this while I'm a sophomore in high school, and I was like, screw acting and playing a role, pretending to be someone else. I'd rather be myself. And being a big sports fan, that was around the same time, sophomore year in high school, where I started to realize I'm not going to be a professional athlete. Up until then, I thought I had a chance, but they kind of faded at that point. So it was like, this is a great way for me to still be in that world of athletics, close to these stars and athletes that I grew up idolizing and watching, and being a part of that conversation, but in a different way. So I kind of shifted my focus from acting to being myself, more in the hosting, broadcasting, and journalism world.
Okay. So you're in Cleveland, very early success, because you have identified what your superpower is, obviously. Where do we go from there? Do you decide, okay, cool, how do I really maximize my skill set? Where do you go after high school?
Yeah, I've always felt very fortunate that I knew the direction that I wanted to go. I didn't know if I would want to be a sports reporter or a television host or a sideline reporter or do the news. Like, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew the general area. And a lot of people I saw growing up, it's like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to do when you graduate high school or college or whatever? And a lot of people don't know. I felt lucky that I knew the direction at least. So when I was looking at colleges, I wanted to go to a school with a really strong communications program. So I decided to go to and got into Syracuse University. Their school there is the Newhouse School of Communications, one of the best in the country. If you look at the roster of people who've gone there, it's like the Hall of Fame of sports and television broadcasters. It's pretty crazy. So I knew that was where I wanted to go, and I was lucky I got in, and I kind of honed my skills there, learned it for 4 years as a broadcast journalism major. They teach you how to do the local news, which is important, but it's depressing. It's house fires and murders and car crashes. I was like, this is not for me. But all the skills that I learned about how to produce, how to perform on camera, how to report, how to edit, how to direct, to do all these different roles, I was able to apply that to my career when I graduated after school. And so many people in my track at that school would move to a middle market, middle of nowhere, somewhere in like Nebraska, and be a one-man band working for the local news. I knew I didn't want to do that, didn't know exactly how to get my foot in the door, so I decided to make a documentary film right after graduating college. And that was better than going to film school. I really taught myself how to do it all. I raised money mainly in like $1,000 to $5,000 increments, hustling, putting together an executive summary and a business plan and getting people to buy in and piece this together. And I shot 250 hours of footage. I edited it down to a 90-minute film and got into a ton of film festivals around the country, won a lot of awards, got a distribution deal. The film's called Swing State, about Ohio, where I grew up, the role it plays in presidential elections. And I grew up in a political family, so it's kind of a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to grow up and live in politics. And I interviewed Barack Obama, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., John Kerry, all these big names, not about politics, but about what it's like for their spouse and their kids to grow up in this world, in a bubble under a microscope. And that was an amazing learning experience. And to be able to finish that 2-year journey with a film that was out and sold and available and made money back, that helped set me apart for when I did move to Los Angeles. As so many people from the Midwest come out here with hopes and dreams and aspirations, I had all those, but I also had like proof that like, I'm going to get shit done. I'm going to back it up myself. And I had something I could leave behind at meetings that kind of get me recognized, noticed, and taken a little bit more seriously from the beginning.
I love it. I love it. Through my mentoring, what I have really harped upon, and you've touched on it a few different times, is that feeling that you've gotten. Because once you have had that success, you know that it's available to you at any time. So whether it be you being the kid actor, whether it be you early on reporting, and now you shooting a documentary, it gives you internal success of knowing I can pretty much do what I put my mind to. So this is one of the things that we kind of really want to get into in the show is our mind is our greatest gift.
Yep.
And unfortunately sometimes our greatest downfall.
Sure.
So as you're now seeing these successes, where did we get to a spot where there may have been hiccups?
Oh, I mean, tons of hiccups along the way. So much of my career, especially when I moved to Los Angeles, trying to make it as a television host, the first hurdle was, how do I get an agent? How do I get someone to recognize me who can help me find more jobs? Then eventually I was able to, get past that hurdle, but I'd get in the door, I'd get in the room for a lot of jobs, I'd go and audition, and it would come down to me and one or two other people. And I'd be, literally, there were some shows that I auditioned for where it was months and months of auditions. They're like, come back for another callback and another. And now it's down to you and one other person. And, they went with someone else. You were perfect for it, but they went with someone else because he has more Instagram followers, or he's more on brand for our target demo, or whatever it is, it's beyond your control. And that was really hard for me because I felt like I did the best I could do, but it's out of my control. And I didn't feel like I had control of my own career, my own destiny. I was leaving it up to the decision of other people, often who I'd never met before. They just saw some tape, and based on what they were feeling or vibing with, that's, would determine what my life looked like and how I would evaluate myself as successful or not. And that was really hard. And that was definitely hiccups, obstacles, and just roadblocks in the way where I was putting too much control of my career in other people's hands, often for things that are totally superficial and beyond my control, like how many social media followers, what I look like. I got a note once that I was great, but my hair isn't cool enough. I don't know what that means. Right? So, but it literally come down to shit like that. So that was hard to deal with for a long time. It still is, but I think over the last couple of years, I've found more success just kind of taking more control and not waiting for someone to give me permission or say, here's the job, the opportunity, trying my best to just create them myself.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah.
So now you have taken the bull by the reins and you said, hey, LA, I'm here. I'm from the land. And
That's
we're ready
right.
to make it happen.
Yeah.
So when do we get our first gig in Los Angeles?
My first gig in LA was well, it's interesting. When I first moved to LA, I didn't work for the first 6 months. All that I did, but it was the hardest I'd ever worked at the same time. I wasn't getting paid. I was very fortunate. I've got an aunt and uncle and cousins that live out here in LA. So I lived with them for about 6 months, which was helpful. I didn't have to pay rent, right? It kind of eased my transition. That's helpful. I don't know if everyone can have that luxury, but it was very nice living with family, crashing in a spare room. And during that time that I was there, when I moved to LA, I knew maybe 12 people, and I put those 12 people's names on a spreadsheet. And I met with those 12 people, told them who I am, what I've done, here's the movie I made, here's what I want to do. And my ask was, is there one person or two people that you know that after hearing my story, you think they would enjoy meeting me and maybe you could help make that connection? I don't want to define it, who it is, what I'm looking for, just is there anyone that comes to mind? And those 12 people turned into 24 people, turned into 48, and so on and so on. And I kept this spreadsheet going. And for those first 6 months, I met maybe 300 or 400 people. And I started to build a network. And through that network of people knowing who I am, knowing how motivated I am, how hungry I am, how persistent I am, because I would follow up. It's not just enough that someone would introduce me to Brian and I meet Brian. It's like, oh, I would follow up. It's been 3 weeks. Let me send a note. And I managed this system. And through that, opportunities started to come my way. Hey, so-and-so is looking for a PA, or so-and-so is looking for this. And that's where really my career started in LA, because I put in that foundation, that groundwork to hustle, to build a network of people who knew about me and knew what I wanted to do. And I don't use those spreadsheets anymore, but now it's sort of ingrained in me, that behavior. And that really helped me get started.
So I have a question for
Yeah.
you. So who gave you this thought? And the reason I ask this is this is something that I've done for years.
Yeah.
It's not a spreadsheet per se, but it is something that I call my quantum notebook. And anything or anyone that I write in it, I eventually work with or do something with.
Yeah.
Who put that in you to say, hey, you need to be intentional about enhancing your network? You're new here. No one knows you.
Nobody told me that. Nobody sat me down and gave me that lesson. I think it was innately in me, and I think I saw it. I mentioned my dad was in politics. So I grew up in a political family where my dad was running for office. He was the Attorney General of Ohio, Lieutenant Governor of Ohio. He lost a very close race to be the governor of Ohio, like the closest race in 100 years in the state, and like all these different positions. And I kind of grew up watching this nature of him hustling and meeting people, fundraising, doing all this. So some of it's probably genetic. It's like just in me. I'm a people person. I think that's who I am. But I also grew up watching these behaviors of my parents, sort of like how they connect and follow up and follow through and are organized about it. So no one sat me down and told me anything about it, but no one had to. I kind of was just ready, and I knew what I needed to do, and I knew what made sense. So just building this network, this spreadsheet, it was more about a way to keep it all organized, because I knew I was going to be doing this anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed, people don't use business cards quite as much now as they did 10 years ago. But back then, people was constantly handing out business cards. I would give people a business card, or they give me mine. And I was amazed that, people are very good at doing that, but they're very bad at following up.
That's exactly
I
correct.
never would hear from people again. It's gone. I'm very good. If you give me your business card, expect an email in your inbox later that day or first thing tomorrow when it's fresh in your mind. And I was religious about that.
I love
and
it.
I think not many people did that, and I would always do it, and just formed relationships, some that have turned into lifelong friendships, some career-long business relationships, and others just friends, mentors, or they've 6 degrees of separation. It's led me to another amazing opportunity, job, path, whatever it might be.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Being intentional with your relationships. So after you kind of figure that out, and that's a great story. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Where did we go from there? So you have cultivated what I would call your tribe.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's going on with the people that you want to be around in LA. Then what happens?
Well, then, now I got to start making some money. I got to work, right? I can't just like meet people for a living. So I was at this time like, what am I going to do? And I got an email from a buddy of mine. He was like, this is going to sound random, but I think you're perfect for it. And it was Gillette, the razor company, was having a contest looking for 2 guys to travel around America making comedy videos for the brand. And I read all about it. It sounded amazing. They were having this video contest, and I had to make a 60-second video that showed my passion for Gillette, but the deadline was the next day. They already had thousands of entries. I called up a buddy of mine from college. I was like, what are you doing? It was Tuesday in LA. What does any unemployed actor do on a Tuesday in LA? He was like, oh, nothing. So I was like, oh, come over. Sounds crazy, but we're going to enter and win this contest. So we came up with, in a couple hours, with some concepts, some ideas. We shot a video, we edited it, we put it up, and out of thousands of videos, we were chosen as one of 5 finalists. We were flown to New York City for this live final event in front of 500 people and a panel of celebrity judges, John Cena, Tony Parker, and Aaron Andrews. And we won. We were chosen as the winners of the Gillette Ultimate Summer Job. We were paid $50,000 to be driven around America in a Gillette tour bus. They put us up in 25 cities over 6 weeks. All access at every major summer event, backstage at Lollapalooza, on the field at the Baseball All-Star Game, backstage at the ESPY Awards. We drove NASCARs at the Brickyard 400. We spent a day with Derek Jeter in the dugout at Yankee Stadium. We led Tom Brady and the Patriots out of the tunnel at Gillette Stadium for a game and did the coin toss in midfield. Every day was like this for 6 weeks. It was a dream job, and I was getting paid a lot to do it. So when this ended, I was like, shit, I have peaked. What the hell am I going to do? Retire? This is my first job. I got to keep this going. So rather than sending these Gillette executives an email, begging them to keep working with me, I sent them a video. I said, watch this. And basically, I realized I got noticed through this video. I made another video, almost like as if they were having a contest, of why they should continue working with my friend and I. And we heard back within an hour from the vice president of Gillette. He was like, we need to talk. And after that 6-week tour and this video we sent, we were able to convince them to continue it for the next 2 years as their host, spokesman at Super Bowls, NASCAR races, MLB opening day and spring training and all-star games, and transition from contest winner to host, spokesman, and creative producer. And it kind of kick-started my career just by, creating these opportunities.
Yeah. I would say from my vantage point, it was exactly what you did. You created it. You took your future in your hands.
Yeah.
As opposed to allowing the future to happen to you.
Totally.
I love it, man.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good. It was still one of the best gigs I've ever had in my life. It was, that was in 2010. I still have not paid for a Gillette razor since. I stocked up on those bad boys. Those are expensive. So paid for it in that too. I still got probably 40 Gillette razors hanging out.
There we go.
That's right.
Thank you, Gillette.
Thank you, Gillette. And now I got facial hair. This is like a big FU to Gillette. Yeah. Those days are done. I had to shave twice a day. I couldn't be seen with stubble, nothing. If I was on camera, clean shaven.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gillette, we have been very intentional. We have taken our future and created it based on, again, a lot of this is what I would say, and what I, in my personal opinion, is mindset. Is you have mentally decided this is what I'm going to do. Is it your nature or is it your nurture? Being from the Midwest, it was one of the things that I dealt with one of my former jobs. People asked me when I was a salesperson, how do you do this? How do you sell more than anyone else and you're new? You barely even know this. I was like, I don't know. I'll wake up in the morning, I decide I'm going to do it, and then I do.
Yeah.
And for me, as I've gone through LA and this journey of LA, I think that is a thing. It's not, back in the day, I really did think it was all Midwest people. There are some other people who have that mindset, but I think it's just we go about the work differently than most people.
I have in my office at home, I've got a poster behind my desk. It says, work hard and be nice to people. And I feel like that comes from the Midwest. It's really just those two things. It's like I try to just work really hard. No one's going to outwork me. I'm going to put in the time, the energy, the effort, and just be nice to people, treat people nicely, because that is like Midwest values, and it's just like the right thing to do. It's easier to be kind to someone than not, I
It really
find.
is.
And it's also that like it's not in your benefit to be a dick to somebody. Literally, like someone's intern today can be someone's boss tomorrow, and everyone's on their own path, their own journey, and that's not the reason to be nice to someone. Oh, because they could be going places, but it all comes around full circle, and it's I believe in karma, and it's just easier to be kind to people.
I like that.
Gets you further. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So after Gillette, what were your thoughts? You've now gone 2.5 years of just an amazing ride.
Yep.
How do you come down from that, and where do we go?
I got to keep it going. I can't
right.
come down. I got to keep it going. So working with brands, I call it Conference Call City, because you work with the ad agency and the digital agency and the PR firm and the marketing company and all these different feeder systems for these agencies that they're working with. And they are also working with many other brands. So being the hustler that I am, I just let people know about myself, what I'm doing, and got to know all these different agencies. And through that, more opportunities came my way with other brands, where I did a tour for Nestle Butterfinger Candy Bar, traveling the country, similar, 25 cities for 6 weeks. Got a job with Skype as their national spokesman for 2 years. And just kind of work begets work. Once I kind of started doing that and meeting people, I just did anything to get my foot in the door. And then once my foot is in the door, prove that I belong. Like, I don't care how much you pay me for day one or job one. You're going to see that I'm good at what I do and that I'm going to outwork everybody. And my day will come where I'm paid fairly or correctly or whatever. But like, I'm just finding these opportunities, and it just snowballed from there. I worked with Pizza Hut for 2 years. They became the official pizza of the NCAA, and they named me the Pizza Hut All-American. They sent me to every single NCAA championship in every sport in 1 year to make videos for the brand. So the Final Four, the College World Series, college football, but also bowling, fencing, lacrosse, field hockey, track and field, swimming and diving, 33 NCAA sports championships in 1 year as the guy who was doing press and PR from local news stations to on SportsCenter to doing events on the court, on the ice, on the field during the games, and social media content for the brand. And again, all these things, just like work begets work. My job is to do it, is to document it, it's to capture it on camera, to promote it, put it out there, and then through that, more people see it and opportunities come my way, or I meet other people and seek out opportunities. It's just a snowball effect. The
Motion
more
creates motion.
Exactly. So I'm just always in motion because the motion continues to come my way when I'm moving,
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So, again, this is a great show, whereas you're teaching hopefully a lot of people who believe that their circumstances dictate their future. You're clearly showing that you dictate what that future can be based on your actions at any given time. And at any given time, you can change what those circumstances are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's great. So when did you get to working with the NBA and doing these things with Slick on this scale?
Well, that's a good story, actually. So the NBA has always been my favorite league. Basketball was my favorite sport. Back when I was growing up in Cleveland, I thought I'd be an NBA player one day.
That height kind of hurts.
Yeah, I soon realized that it was not just the height, a lot more than that. Athleticism, all sorts of things. Yeah, I was not getting that done.
Yeah.
But good locker room presence, good, end of the bench kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting a 10-day contract off that, unfortunately. But I've always been passionate about basketball, and I've always wanted to do something with the NBA. So when I was doing that Butterfinger tour, traveling around America, 25 cities, 6 weeks, I would have 2 days off every week that would just happen to fall in whatever random city I was at the time. So 1 week I had 2 days off in Kansas City. I don't know if you've been to Kansas City before. Good barbecue. Yeah. Nothing against Kansas City. It's a great barbecue, but there wasn't a ton to do.
It's not Memphis barbecue, but it is great.
Well, okay, all right, debatable. I like Memphis barbecue too. But Kansas City might be my favorite barbecue city in the country. First day off, I had barbecue, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, trying all the spots. Second day off there, the NBA Finals were going on in Oklahoma City between the Miami Heat and Oklahoma City Thunder. Nice. I did not have tickets to the game, but I figure I'm going to put myself in the right place, right time. I'm going to figure it out. So I drove in my giant Butterfinger truck 6 hours to Oklahoma City for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. I get there a couple hours before the game. I don't have a ticket. I'm shaking hands. I'm meeting people. I'm passing out Butterfingers. What's up? 5 minutes before the game starts, I meet a girl. She has an extra ticket to Game 2 of the NBA Finals. I give her $100 for it. I can't, but like, you can't get a regular season ticket for $100. I can't believe this worked. I'm going to the NBA Finals. I go in, I go to my seat. I am literally in the last seat in the entire arena. I am in the nosebleeds. There's no one behind me. I'm up against the wall. So like, I'm happy to be there, but I can't see anything. I'm checking my phone to see what the score of the game is, right? Like, I'm getting a nosebleed. I'm getting delirious up there. I'm taking pictures from up there so I can zoom in and see if I see any open seats, but it's a finals game. There's none, except I see one seat courtside that is empty.
Oh, man.
So I figure out what section that is. Second quarter, I walk around the main concourse. I get a hot dog and a beer so that my hands are full and I can't reach for my ticket. I walk right up to the usher. I see her name tag. I don't hesitate. Confidence is key. I'm like, Yolanda, you look good. Have you lost some weight? Oh, my God, I love you. We're going to win it all. Go Thunder. I give her a hug, and just like a hurricane, I keep going all the way down to my courtside seat. Now I'm sitting courtside at the NBA Finals. This worked. I'm living it up. This is amazing. I'm sitting there like 20 minutes. I'm saying what's up to people. I've got photos of this to prove this. This is nuts. After like 20 minutes or so, someone taps me on my shoulder. Excuse me, you're in my seat. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, there must be a mistake. I start fumbling, looking for my ticket, just trying to buy some time so I can look around, find a new open seat, make a new plan. And as I do it, I turn and I look. I see 10 rows up on the aisle, David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA at the time, getting up to go to the restroom. So without hesitating, I walk directly to his seat and I sit in the commissioner's seat. Sitting next to him is Adam Silver, the deputy commissioner of the NBA at the time. Not as many people knew who he was. He wasn't the commissioner yet. Before he has a chance to say anything, I say, Mr. Silver, I'm a huge fan of yours. The second round of the NBA draft is my favorite time of the entire season. The way he pronounces European draft picks boggles my mind. He chuckles. Like, my name's Jason Zone Fisher. I'm a diehard, passionate NBA fan. I've been passionate about the game since I was a kid growing up in Cleveland. Mark Price, Brad Doherty, Larry Nance. I traveled 7 hours to be here tonight for this game. Traveled the country of Butterfinger. Here's some Butterfinger coupons. He was like, what? What? Who are you? What are you talking about? And I took it as an opportunity to tell him about myself, what I've done, tell him my story. He was intrigued. I was there for like 10, 15 minutes chatting with him. I thanked him for not calling security on me. I gave him my business card. His reflex, he gave me his card back. Flash forward about a month or two later, I was headed to New York City. I was hosting some events there for the U.S. Open tennis tournament, and I emailed Adam Silver, and I reminded him who I was, and then I said in this email verbatim, at the risk of losing all humility, I know at some point in my career I'm going to work with you and the NBA. It's a lifelong goal of mine. I feel myself inching closer towards it every day. If you would spend 5 minutes to get to know me better, I'd appreciate it, but trust me, it'll be worth your time. He responded within 5 minutes, literally. He was on it. He was like, Jason, of course I remember you. I'm still eating Butterfingers because of you. I leave for the Olympics soon. It's going to be tough. I'll see if I can make some time. I got a calendar invite from his assistant from 11 to 11:10 a.m., a 10-minute meeting. I showed up to this meeting. We totally hit it off. He picked up his phone. He called his assistant, canceled his next meeting. It turned into an hour and a half. He brought in the head of marketing for the NBA, the head of social media, and about 8 to 10 months later, David Stern announced his retirement. Adam became commissioner. I forged this friendship and relationship with him that all started from me stealing David Stern's seat and striking up this friendship with him. And now I've become like the official host and MC of NBA All-Star Weekend for the NBA, doing content on their app with Baron Davis here at Slick, doing all sorts of events for them. And I've become kind of like one of their go-to hosts and MCs, both for content shows and in person. And I think that's another case of I'm doing that because I'm passionate about it and I believe I'm good enough to do it. It's not because I met Adam Silver, but I got my foot in the door and created an opportunity any way that I knew how, including crashing an NBA Finals game and stealing the commissioner's seat.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Buckle up. Get into it.
There's
Let's
a
go.
lot.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot to unpack there. The one thing that you said that really resonates with me is the fact that you know internally you deserve to be there. Mm-hmm. What I have seen over the years is a lot of people who I may think have what it takes to be wildly successful, but they don't believe in themselves. And so they don't find that success that they should.
Yeah.
So with you sitting next to Adam Silver, you didn't stutter. Yeah, you've always spoken well, so it's not that. But there was something in you that said, hey, I know that I can have this job. I know that I deserve this job. I know that at some point you and I will be working together, so we might as well get to know each other now.
Yeah, yeah. Confidence. Confidence is key. It really is. There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. And I always try to make sure I'm not cocky. I'm confident in myself and my abilities and to portray that, because there is a difference and it's close. It can get blurred, but I'm confident. And even in that story, before even meeting Adam Silver, the fact that like I snuck down to a courtside seat, that's about confidence too. It is acting like you belong. If you act and believe that you belong, you do, and others will treat you that way because you exude this confidence about it. So the usher, security, whatever, it's like, no. This is where I'm supposed to go. Don't question it. And like if you live that and be that, all of a sudden it is true. You manifest that. You are that. Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And it kind of seeps into many areas. So yeah, I would rather ask for forgiveness than permission and to push the limits, because what do you have to lose? Worst case scenario, I go back up to my nosebleed seat, but I had nothing to lose. Like, go for it. That's how I take it. And like, let us sit in the seat. It doesn't go well, whatever. I have nothing to lose. It feels like it's a free bet, playing with house money. Like, go for it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have no shame, too. No shame. Yeah.
Well, that's the ego. Once you remove the ego, there are no impediments.
Yeah.
With belief and zero ego, there is nothing stopping you from being everything that you want to be.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I do think, what I do for a living, where I can get on stage in front of tens of thousands of people, I realize that not everyone can do that. But I think one of the reasons I can do that is I'm not afraid of failure. And what do I have to lose? Like, is always what comes back to me. It's like, if I stumble or if I mess up, it's okay. I don't care. Like, of course I want to do as good a job as possible,
Absolutely.
but it doesn't matter. And I think people get in their own way, scared and worried about what it's going to look like, the results. What if I fail at this? I don't worry about that, and I think I joke that it's no shame, no fear. I got a lot of chutzpah, whatever, like, just go for it. But I do think that has been one of the reasons I've found success.
Yeah, I love that, man. One of the guys that I have followed is Hormozy. If you really like back out of your life and look forward 100 years, like most people are looking, what's going to happen in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. If you look 100 years, 1,000 years out and go from there, what is the world going to think of me in this time period? And you can be honest and be like, chances are it won't think anything of me.
Sure.
So then you can allow yourself to just live and make decisions that are best for you, not what you think other people think.
Yeah. A lot of that is just about perspective,
Yes.
like when I get overly stressed about a project, a job, an issue or something like that, if you just kind of look up, at like where we are, I mean, that's getting a little deep here, but like, it puts your problems in perspective.
We can get deep here. It's okay.
Yeah, well, just how lucky we are, how like small we are. Of course, we're significant to each other and to yourselves. This is our life. This is all you know. This is what you have. But on the grand scheme of things, unlike this little rock floating through space, it's like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
A lot of the things that we worry about or fear over. It's like,
exactly. You missed a red light.
yeah, or it's like people stress. I stress something like social media. It's so stupid. Like, should I post this? Did you tag the right thing? Like, I catch myself like, who cares? What is wrong with me right now? But everyone does it. But it's like it doesn't matter. Just try to remind myself to have perspective in situations when I'm overly stressed, worried, anxious, all those things. It's like it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So let me ask you, what's next? What's next for Jason Zone Fisher? 'Cause you're clearly in the zone right now.
Yeah, I'm always in the zone. Like I said, I mean, I love doing all the stuff that I'm doing here at Slick and with Baron Davis. We're hoping to do more and more content together with the NBA as sort of like a media partner for the NBA. We just launched our first show, NBA Rundown, on the NBA app, and hoping that is the first of many to come, where we can really control content and be a content provider for the NBA. So that's one area that I'm really excited about.
Nice.
And I'm going to be on the road a lot this year. There's this new golf league called Live Golf. and I host all their trophy ceremonies and their live events, their big welcome parties, things like that. And it's a lot of fun. It's golf but louder is their whole moniker, because golf. What I always hated about golf in the past is how like stuffy it can be. And oh no, sir,
Yeah.
you need to button that button if you're gonna. I'm like, no, it's not like that at all. You can wear shorts. They play music. It's cool. It's bringing golf into like the modern times, and like be a little more laid back, fun, exciting, and I'm going to get to travel a lot with them this year. Go to places I've always wanted to go. Singapore, I've never been there before. I'm going to Australia with them, Spain, all over the world. So I'm really excited about that. Really, over the next few months, I'll be doing that. It's cool.
Oh, I love it, man.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me. Instagram's probably the best. JZ Fish, JZFISH. Give me a follow there, and you can check out all my fun adventures. And I did recently launch my own podcast because, built to win, baby. Everybody's got a podcast, right? You got to get in the game, the content game. It's called In the Zone with Jason Zone Fisher, and you'll be able to check out a trailer, some of the stuff there. But it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. But I'd rather you watch it than listen to it, because it's a very visual podcast. We interview lots of great athletes, content creators, musicians, performers, just interesting people who have great stories to tell. We play really fun games. You get to see a different side of them that like you've probably never seen before, things you don't know about. So I would love if everyone gives that a like, a follow, check it out. It's a fun project that I'm proud of.
I love it.
In the Zone.
Well, Jason, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
It was very, very informative, and I really hope that people took from a lot of the nuggets that you gave that we create our own future. 'Cause
Yes.
You have done that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You're doing that too. Everyone else out there, create your own luck, create your own destiny. You can make it happen.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
All right.